Hello, mic check 1 2. Are you able to hear me? Hello. Hello there. Hello. 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 Okay. I know that you can hear me. Excuse me. I know that you can hear me. Um I just got stopped out on this trade. Nah, I didn't. I didn't get stopped out, okay? Listen, the volume imbalance, okay? I was calling that to you on the live stream that I just made. I knew 100% the price was going to come into this volume imbalance. And I even mentioned that I think that after price comes into the volume imbalance, it could potentially want to see a surge of volume and essentially consume this, right? Which is unfortunately what happened. I think that I briefly explained it by utilizing the pen tool that I have over here somewhere. Like where I was saying that the EMA is gonna, keep coming lower like this, and then essentially the price action is gonna trade above the EMA, and then potentially tap it again and then continue running higher. That was like more or less what I said was gonna happen. The crossover did in fact occur. So so I wasn't wrong about anything, okay? We were simply just aiming for this volume imbalance on this demo account, right? I should have closed the trade, yeah. Obviously, on my real account, I wouldn't have been able to, potentially wouldn't have been able to sit there with 3 grand profit and not take it off the table. I say that, but to be honest, so this is just like a really short summary of the last trade. So I'm using inversion fair value gaps A, B, and C to frame the move lower that we had. That was all that was available to me at the time. I wasn't looking for higher prices at the time. I was just scalping the retracement back into this inversion fair value gap here down to this volume imbalance there. So my trade was literally this 2.5 to 1. Oh. So like my trade was actually pretty decent. I was saying at the time in the recording on the live stream that I would have closed my positions at this volume imbalance here, like as it was in there. The only reason I didn't is because for the live stream's sake, I wanted to just leave it on and see what happened. Because if I just closed the positions, then there would have been nothing more to say, and then I would have ended the live stream there in a profit, and we wouldn't have seen what happened after. So this is quite crazy. This big impulsive uh, run higher out of this volume imbalance here. That's fucking crazy, to be honest. I didn't really didn't anticipate that actually happening, because that's just mad. And that volume imbalance has been here the whole time. Like it's not hidden in any way. You don't need any specific skills to be able to see this gap in price right here. Crazy that that was the delivery from this volume imbalance, though. In it actually quite crazy. So anyway, we have these inversion fair value gaps here. They were inversions, but now I'm starting to believe that I don't know. I do still think they could potentially stay inversion levels, but for the whole amount of time that price is trading above them, they're now reclaimed bullish. because price could easily come into this inversion fair value gap here and then keep trading this in a bullish fashion, you know. I think that we'll maybe stay in this range from this green box to this green box. I don't really see price. I'm not sure. I think we're kind of range bound in there for like at least another hour. I don't really see in the next hour price breaking out the high or the low of that area there. For example, we've made this high in the first half an hour. Oh shoot, we've just ran all of this liquidity up here. Damn. They did that run up. They fucking did that from this volume imbalance. What the fuck? What was my spread like on this volume imbalance? Let me just. Sorry. Let me. What was my spread like on this delivery here? I just want to see how wide it was, because that volume imbalance delivery is fucking insane. You know what's sick? What's absolutely disgusting? My broker Vantage, they don't show me this volume imbalance. I can't even see it. Oh, in fact, no, it is there. It's just really small and just 100% not the same at all. It is still there, technically. Like, it is there, but it's just definitely not the same as what I'm looking at on my screen that's in, like, my trading chart in front of me now. The volume imbalance is still there though, and it was still utilized in the same way. But it's massively different though, because on my phone it's showing me a fair value gap with a small volume imbalance to the high. But on here, I mean, yes, it is a fair value gap, but the volume imbalance is like like it's like quite large in comparison to the one that it printed on my phone for me here. But it shows that like the gap itself, like fair value gap included, it's the same. So it's strange to see the anomalies between the two different liquidity providers. It is quite strange, to be honest. But the level was there nonetheless. As for my spread, the spread's not horrific either. So if I entered inside of the volume imbalance, like my spread only would have been like at or near the high of it. So it's not like a huge spread. The spread is essentially like the distance between the consequent encroachment and the high. So like if I entered at the consequent encroachment, my spread's gonna probably put me in about here. Or maybe yeah, about there. Let's see. So it's not a huge spread in comparison to this big price run here. How long did this trade last for? Just over an hour. Oh, just over an hour and a half, sorry. Gosh. So I'm gonna leave this on. Sorry, wait, what am I saying? I'm gonna leave this now and just see what price does tomorrow when I sign in. But actually, I am quite proud of myself for finding the move towards the volume imbalance, and also for identifying the fact that that could be a reason to run higher through these relative equal highs. I wish I actually displayed that verbally, so I wish I fucking said that. I think I did show this in fact, but we're gonna have to kind of check quickly to see if that's correct. How do I do this again? I have to go in here. How do you do it? Oh, you go and create, go live. studio, and then content, live, this, that,
In your
close this,
face right there.
mute that. So I think, where is it? Where is it? Here. So I said that the price action could, like the EMA could come lower, right? So the EMA could come lower, and then the price action would trade above the EMA and then utilize it to then trade higher towards this area up here. Now, in honesty, that's not a fucking bad thing to point out. That was not a bad prediction. You might be wondering, oh, but your drawings were all the way over here. Well, that's because this happened a lot faster than I was fucking expecting it to. Like I was imagining like like sort of price action to be forming and consolidating over time, but no, that was a very sharp pull. Ultimately, we're probably coming up to this area here. Potentially not though. Like I'm not gonna fucking put money on that. That's just like that's just what I'm assuming based on the level just simply being on my chart in the first place. And also this wick here that actually solidifies my theory. So just really quickly before I go to bed, I'm just gonna put this wick on so that I can reference it tomorrow morning when I wake up. Where is it? So this wick here. How far into that have we tried? We're just below the consequent encroachment of that wick there. So that is honestly quite interesting because it is painting me the idea of it being bearish and meaning that my inversion levels are going to remain inversion, and they were just only sort of like price had liquidity to sweep above here. Nothing anyone can do about that. But these levels could still remain inversion. But to be honest, I was only really using them for the premise of this low here. But just because we've traded higher than them doesn't mean that they're going to stop becoming inversion. It just means for now they're reclaimed. Like, so for now, we're currently finding support on on what was inversion levels. Now this is a reclaimed fair value gap for now, until we short below it again, and then maybe sort of retrace to and reject from it once more down into these lows. But I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying, like, for this to be inversion, that's what essentially would need to happen. But like, even if we trade higher than it, if price then wants to come lower and then come back into the range and then short, that's also possible. But anyway, I'm saying too much. This is just like sort of displaying this move here from the trade that I just placed, which was that. Just old things that I want to reference tomorrow morning when I wake up. Okay, so anyway, good night, everyone. Thank you so much for potentially watching my live stream. I hope you have a wonderful evening, as it is evening for myself. But anyway, so long.